Hi again then guys, and welcome to episode 25 of D.A.R.C, or Does Anyone Really Care? The review series where I'm just doing a quick evaluation of certain cars which the majority of Gran Turismo players just seem to forget about or just underappreciate and underlove in general. So in this episode, this really is an underappreciated car. I can't think of a single occasion where I've seen someone use this. Now I'm sure most people have at least driven this car at some point in the Gran Turismo series, but I never see people using it for racing, for cruising, nothing. And the car is the Mitsubishi Airtrek Turbo-R. Mechanically it's based on the Evo, but it's in kind of an SUV slash people mover kind of package. Not quite a people carrier, not quite a fully fledged SUV, a bit like the Subaru Forester in its body style, especially in this colour. And, you know, not quite as good looking as the Subaru maybe. Obviously the Subaru isn't on the game, so it doesn't really matter, but I would personally say it's not quite as good looking as the Forester. But people just never use this car. Now, is it any good? Because obviously there aren't that many 4x4 and SUV type vehicles on Gran Turismo. There are a few, and of those few there are even less that are genuinely good. Most of them just never get used. Cars like the Mazda MX Cross Sport, the that little Pontiac one, I can't even remember what it's called, the Vibe or whatever it's called, and cars like this, they just don't get used. People tend to go for the same old trucks every time. The Ford F-150, the Dodge Ram, the Audi Pikes Peak Quattro, all the usual suspects, and they just don't use these type of semi-obscure but mainstream models. Now, fully tuned, this car sits at 527 pp, which is okay. I'd say maybe a little bit too high, as I would say for a lot of cars, but it's okay in this one. It's doable. The power, fully tuned, is just under 500. It's actually 495 brake horsepower, which is pretty decent. You're running similar power to an Evo, which you'd expect considering it has Evo mechanicals. And with the full weight loss package, despite being a relatively large car and having all-wheel drive, it weighs in at a respectable 1,216 kilos, which is pretty good. That is lighter than the majority of the other SUVs on the game. It's a lot lighter than the Ford, it's a lot lighter than the Dodge Ram, obviously. It's a lot lighter than, what was the other one I was thinking of? It's a lot lighter than the Chevy SSR, etc, etc. It's a lot lighter than the Chevy Silverado as well. That's an extremely heavy truck. But obviously it's also producing considerably less power than most of them. It is one of the lesser powered SUVs. So is it really quick enough to warrant your giving your attention to this car instead of those far more popular models? Well, I would say yes, it is. Now, I'm not going to try and paint a picture of this car which is blown out of proportion. I'm not going to tell you that this car will destroy Subarus and Evos and Supras and Skylines around the Nuremberg Ring, because it just won't. Maybe at a certain PP with a certain power on a certain track it is capable of that, but I'm not going to promise you that, because that will just set you up for disappointment. What I can tell you though is that the main advantage of this SUV is it is genuinely eligible to go up against other large trucks, SUVs, people carriers, all that type of thing, and at the same time have a significant advantage in both weight and size. Now obviously weight can be worked with. There are heavy cars on the game which still have great handling, such as the Aston Martin Vanquish, which we did a review for not that long ago in this series. But size is much more difficult to counteract, because at the end of the day a large car, no matter how light it is, takes up a lot of track space. And with most of the SUVs that are on the game, they are very large. And half the time, you can't even see if someone is directly in front of you because of how big the vehicle is. But with the Airtrek, it's a relatively compact SUV, which is why at the start of this video I wasn't really completely comfortable with calling it a fully fledged SUV. It's more like almost a crossover type vehicle. But the price on this one is a very reasonable 23,000 credits. So if you're into SUVs, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this for everyone, but if you are specifically into large vehicles, SUVs, people carriers, that type of thing, which personally I am on Gran Turismo, then I would recommend you give this car a try if you haven't done so, because it does offer a truly unique style when compared to the other SUVs in the game. So that's it for this review. Hope you enjoy driving this car, and see you next time. And as always, thanks for watching.